Hello, BookTube. I have another small mail haul for you today on a very overcast, somewhat cool Tuesday. So, been a fine day for long dog walks, which has made someone a little tired. But we've only got 4 packages here, but it does end in a box, and it's from my favorite publisher. So, let's see what we have here. Don't know if there'll be any more mail today. It's always hard for me to predict. Oh, great. Okay, we saw this already. This is a September finished copy. This is the standard line here on this channel now. I'm getting all the September books. This is the start of a new series. This is The Long Call by Anne Cleeves. Some of you will know this. I'm going to do this so you can still see the bean. There she is. Some of you will know this author. She's a favorite of mine. And I have already read this book, so let me tell you a little bit about it in case you missed the advanced copy. This comes out in early September. This is out already in bookstores. For the first time in 20 years, book-to-TV series maven Anne Cleeves has created a new mystery series, this time taking place in the English beaches where she grew up, in North Devon. Marrying the strength of her two existing series, the charisma of lead and supporting characters Vera with the atmosphere and sense of place, then the Shetland Island. The Long Call is set to be a new sensation for mystery and fiction audiences alike. In North Devon, where two rivers converge and run into the sea, Detective Matthew Venn stands outside the church of as his father's funeral takes place. Once loved and cherished, the day Matthew left the strict evangelical community he grew up in, he lost his family too. Now, as he turns to walk away again, he receives a call from one of his team. A body has been found on the beach nearby, a man with a tattoo of an albatross on his neck, stabbed to death. You see the bead? The case calls Matthew back into the community he thought he'd left behind, as deadly secrets hidden at the heart are revealed and his past and present collide. So the pub sheet degenerates into pub sheet speech, but the book I thought was very good. Tense. All the stuff that you go to Anne Cleeves for, only with new characters. So we start off with a book I've already read, but I do recommend it. I mean, if you're in the mood for a really atmospheric mystery thriller, you can't go wrong with this author anyway. And this is a new series to jump on if the length of her other series intimidates you. Let's see. Let's move on to this next one. What's this next one? Oh, great. Okay, fantastic. This is a work of history. Comes out next year. Do we have any kind of a sheet on this? No? No. All right. This comes out in February. It is a new look at the Civil War. From the congressional standpoint, this is by Fergus Bowditch, and it is Congress at War. Hey, Bean. And let's see here. This is the story of how Congress helped win the Civil War, a new perspective that puts the House and Senate, rather than Abraham Lincoln, at the center of the conflict. This brilliantly argued new perspective on the Civil War overturns the popular conception that Abraham Lincoln single-handedly led the Union to victory, and gives us a vivid account of the essential role Congress played in winning the war. And I'm all for that. Absolutely all for that. We'll see what kind of a job this author does. I'll find out in the new year. I'm not going to read any 2020 books in 2019, but perspective shifting studies like that I often love them. Just love them. Oh, okay. Oh, well, all right. This is going to be a name that's known to a lot of you, certainly. This, I think, is October 1st. Okay, so this is not a September book. This is the new book by Rachel Maddow. Blowout is the name of the book. She wouldn't want me to block Frida, would she? Here, let's do it like that. And if I remember correctly, this is a work of nonfiction. An eye-opening world tour of the unsettling mashup of brutish geopolitics, industrial despotism, and flat-out venality. Maddow's previous book, Drift, was a New York Times bestseller and reinvigorated political debate about our vast and confounding national security state. Blowout will no doubt spur a similarly impassioned discussion about the unimaginably lucrative and corrupt oil and gas industry. which has weakened democracies in developed and developing countries, fouled oceans and rivers, and propped up an authoritarian thieves and killers. So this is a book about the oil and gas industry, which is, that is the fruitful subject. The oil and gas giants have their own diplomatic corps. They have their own army. They almost all but operate by their own rules in terms of international law. I have to wonder when Rachel Maddow had the time to write this, much less research it, and also what she's going to do to promote it. That's an awful tangled thing when it's your job to be in front of the public. Okay, well, this is October 1st, and I kind of sort of made a promise to myself that I would read mostly November or September books because I'm overwhelmed with them, but I kind of want to get to this. Corrupted Democracy, Rogue State Russia, and the Richest, Most Destructive Industry on Earth is the subtitle of this book. Blowout, about the oil and gas industry. Just out of curiosity. Let's look at the back and see if Rex Tillerson's name comes up in this book. Because that was a combination that most of the American public was not aware of. Most of the American public was not aware of what was conflating when he was in the Trump administration. Yes, okay. Okay. He's in this book a lot. Okay, great. Okay, that is an October release, but I'm kind of eager to get to it. Then the last thing we have here is a box, and it's from W.W. Norton. So we can hope for something really good. Let's see. It's a finished copy of something. I think we got here. Oh, great. Did we get this? Did we get this in an advance copy? I can't remember if we did or not. This also comes out on October 1st. October 1st must be a Tuesday. Is that right? I'm getting close to finding out. This is only the 10th of September, though, so this comes out in October. This is another October book, so I probably won't be getting to this for a couple of weeks. This is by Gareth Williams, and it is called Unraveling. Oh, Frida, what's the matter? Did something fall? That's all right, baby. Oh, it's okay. I'll have to check the camera footage and see if something fell. Anyway, this is called Unraveling the Double Helix, the Story of DNA, and it's by Gareth Williams. Nice big book on DNA. Let's see here. This colorful and engaging book begins with the discovery of the nucleine in the late 1860s to the publication of James Watson's The Double Helix in 1968. These 100 years included the establishment of the Nobel Prize, antibiotics, X-ray crystallography, the atom bomb, and 2 devastating world wars, events which are strung along the thread of DNA like beads on a necklace. The story of DNA is the saga packed with awful mistakes as well as brilliant science, with a wonderful cast of heroes and villains. Surprisingly, much of it is unfamiliar. I've read The Double Helix. I didn't get the impression even then that it tells the whole story. But I've read a lot of other stuff on DNA. The elucidation of the double helix was one of the most brilliant gems of 20th century science, but some of the scientists who paved the way have been airbrushed out of history. James Watson and Francis Crick solved a magnificent mystery, but Gareth Williams shows that their contributions to were the last few pieces of a gigantic puzzle assembled over several decades that have not been properly examined and were lost in the afterglow of Watson and Crick's triumph. Fantastic. Okay, so who is the author? Who is he? Let's see here. Gareth Williams is an emeritus professor and former dean of medicine at the University of Bristol. He's written a number of previous books, one of which was shortlisted for the Wellcome Book Prize. And he is the past president of the Anglo-French Medical Society and has an honorary doctorate from the University of Angers. The University of Angers. No, I like that pronunciation, of course. Okay, so, all right, so he's been in science his whole life. Okay, so this comes out on October 1st. All right, so that's 2 October 1st books, Unraveling the Double Helix and Blowout, both of which sound intriguing. Blowout, I'm really eager to get to. Then 2020 book, The Congress at War, which shifts the emphasis on analyzing the American Civil War to Congress and away from Abraham Lincoln and his cabinet. And then The Long Call, Anne Cleeve's attractive enough American edition of a new series from this author. I know a lot of you probably know her and like her. And this one is set in North Devon, which has a kind of bleak beauty that it's perfect for her. And this is out already. So we're all across the board here. We have a book that's out already, came out a week ago. Then we have 2 books for October the 1st and 1 for next year. So that is our Tuesday mail haul. I don't know if there'll be more mail today. Let's take a look and see here. Okay. Yes. Okay. There's FedEx. This is all UPS. So this is not the whole of the day's mail, because this is not the U.S. mail is not here. So that may be coming. If that is coming, you'll be the first to know, because I'll sit in front of this camera and we'll talk about that. But in the meantime, I will let you go for now, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.